Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hello there. Time for another Indian movie that absolutely makes no sense to me. I'm just going to say this right off the bat. Didn't care for it. I guess it's too much culturally that I didn't understand. So, it starts out with this building getting burned down. So the first 30 minutes is like a story in itself. A building getting burned down, and this kid is hiding in this tool shed, and these three, like, bosses of the district or whatever who burned down the house ask him what he saw, and of course the kid lied just to keep his skin, and then they throw that kid in prison, like a youth prison, a juvenile hall or something. And then that kid basically asks he escapes and asks the bosses to make a living in order to pay them back, like just pay them money. And he does that. So for the first 30 minutes is like a montage of this young man growing this underground organization with like truckers. And then in the last 30-minute mark, his story comes to an end when he kills the boss. Kills the three bosses, freeing himself from whatever they apparently had him under. So, yeah. And this movie's called Master for some reason. And then it starts on a new movie with this educator who, again, has no backstory. And he's just, for some reason, the student's favorite teacher, that they're willing to riot for him. And this teacher is a drunk, complete alcoholic. So why is he the most loved teacher? I mean, it's just like a lot of stuff in the air there that is just like, okay, whatever. Yeah, but it's just like their most beloved teacher is an alcoholic. Okay? That's just the fact, I guess. He's an alcoholic. Yeah, and what else? So, there's something to do with a student election, and he basically fights for the student election. And he's basically going to get, not expelled, but fired if there's a fight between students. This is where I was just like, this is the stupidest thing ever. Don't hate me for saying this, but I literally vocalized, how dumb is India? How absolutely dumb is India? Because here they have, okay, a student election, and the girl wins, and the son, who's apparently from a prominent family who's in politics, takes offense at that they start the one side actually starts assaulting the other side. Okay, remember, this is a student election. See, I thought it was stupid when people were taken to the streets over a presidential election. And here is a student election. A student election. It's just... Why? I mean, maybe that looks nice on a resume, but at the same time, it doesn't do anything. It's just why would you kill other students off of a student election, or beat them up, or dismember them, or just like, it just doesn't make any sense. Apparently that happens in India, which honestly is just like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I'm sorry, but that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's just like, you shouldn't take, I mean, I guess it's considered pride. You have pride in your, but, an election, let me tell you this. An election is supposed to be done in a lot of lawful manner. What is it? A way where you can't cheat. It's supposed to be done that way. All evidence to the contrary, but it's supposed to be done where it's counted votes. All have to do with the amount of students are in the school, just like all that stuff. They're counted out, and the majority wins. Okay, the one who gets the majority votes wins. That's how it's supposed to be. Or depending on, like, if you're in the states and different regions and all the votes come from like 2 states, yeah, you have to do it a different way. But it's just like, yeah, that's how it works. The majority wins, and she won the majority by 60 votes, which isn't much. How did it just seems that already seems like a close race? You should feel happy that you ran a close race. You could ask for a recount. I mean, that's always a possibility, but you can't assault another team for winning. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. It's just like, good game, we'll get you next year. I mean, that's what it's supposed to be like. It's just supposed to be like, we've run our chance this time, we can do it again. I know it's a student election and you don't have many options, but it's just, okay, see, this is the thing, it's just like, it went from a movie, which was about a revenge story, which was the first 30 minutes, to a movie about a school election, which led to this violent outburst. So that was another 30 minutes. But of course, since he signed a contract to be terminated, someone forged his signature, and now he's being sent to a remedial school, like a school where all the troublemakers go. Criminals and things like that all go to this school. So he goes to this school, and apparently 2 kids die while he's there. Which makes no sense to me, because everyone's, like, the people who sent him there forged his signature knowing that he's an alcoholic and doesn't pay attention to anything, blamed him for those kids dying. Blamed him. And it's just like, how is this his fault? So we go from that movie, which seemed interesting in the beginning, a guy getting revenge for his family, to a stupid school election that led to a campus riot, and then to a drunk teacher in basically a rehab clinic for troubled kids, and he's blamed for the 2 kids that are hung. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, but the reason why it's called Master is because they call this teacher Master. Yeah, that's why the movie's called Master, I assume. Apparently, this teacher is a great fighter, so he starts seeking revenge and trying to turn those kids around. It turns into like a stand and deliver moment after he sobers up, and also with like a John Wick type of feel as he's trying to hunt down the people who murdered those kids. It wasn't the people who murdered his dog, it was the people who murdered those kids. So it's just like, okay, and of course, the people who murdered those kids happened to be the guy from the first story in the movie, the one who basically freed himself because that same school, remedial school, is where he was forced to go after he was found in the fire, or hiding in the tool shed when he was watching the fire. Yeah, it's just like, okay, I guess that's why these people kept popping up, but it just wasn't, just not a very good movie. Oh, they also have like a Mad Max Road Warrior type moment near the end where they're shooting arrows into a ton of trucks and not blowing them all off the road, when all it would take is one truck bumping into that car to destroy it. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Okay, yeah, that's the movie. The movie made no sense to me. It was all over the place, very, very stupid. I mean, absolutely, seriously, it's a student election. It's a student election. You shouldn't care that much about a student election. Hello? Hello? It's a student election. Thank you all for watching. Talk to you next time. Toodles.